Hello, everyone, and welcome to Extreme Cinema TV's coverage of the over-the-top designs of Loose Lugnuts Tuesday Night Throwback series. Once again, Matt and Rachel in the booth here, coming your way from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Rachel, how are you doing tonight?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Getting ready to go here for 105 laps here at Charlotte. Should be a fun night.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. If it's anything like what happened last week, we're definitely in for an exciting night.
10-4 on that. Well, it should be a lot of fun as we're getting ready to go. Qualifying underway here tonight in the over-the-top designs of Loose Lugnuts Throwback series. And right now on top of the board, Scott Patton. Go figure on that one. But Patton on top of the board right now. Good to qualifying lap 31.340. And it looks like Brandon back there. Brandon is not qualified yet, but Brandon making his first appearance in the Over the Top Designs Tuesday Night Throwback Series here tonight. He should have a lot of fun there with Mark Jackson right there. Those two not qualifying as of yet. Taking a look around here right now, Judd Danielson on the racetrack at the moment. So Danielson out there having a good run tonight. We'll see how he does this evening. Rob Haynes, of course, on track as well in the 199 with a good qualifying lap as well. Haynes up there in P2. Ronald Klein back here in 8th in the 76 machine. Taking a look there at Ronald Klein on the exit of pit road. So, Rachel, they're going to have to go 103 laps here tonight. What do you expect we're going to see over that time?
If it's anything like I saw watching them in practice, I noticed, some of these guys were getting extremely loose. So hopefully, we don't have too many cautions tonight. But other than that, I mean, I think we'll see quite a bit of, clean green runs.
Yeah, I think so too. Charlotte's winning places. I think you can get a good green flag run going. I'm going to actually get a hold of Scott Patton up here and bring him up to the booth and yak with him for a moment. So stand by here. We get ready to grab Scott Patton on up here. Got there on top of the board, which is we've said that a lot here lately. Hey, Scott Patton, Matt up here in the booth. Got a copy?
I got you, Matt.
Well, I mean, man, we've said this a lot here lately, but on top of the board here in qualifying in the 46 Stone River machine, right in front of Rob Haynes there in second. Good qualifying lap, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, man. Just found a couple little tidbits in practice that we shared with our teammates. We got Rob up there on top of the board, too, front row for Bandit Motorsports. Looking for a nice, clean race, kind of a smaller field, looking to keep this Stone River Outfitters Monte Carlo out front tonight. See if we can keep it nice and consistent off the wall and away from the other guys.
Yeah, I tell you what, this series starting to grow a little bit. We're at 15 cars tonight, which is about 2 more than normal. So starting to grow this thing a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it. Hopefully, everybody's in the points, and it's a heck of a series to drive. I love these things, learning a ton from the race one. I think we're all kind of like fish out of water, and kind of getting used to it, learn tidbits, learn from each other. I know Mitch, I watch what he does, he watches what I do, and everybody around, Mitch, congrats him on last week again for stopping the Randy Arms victory train, so hopefully we can keep that pattern going with a new, put somebody else in victory lane, maybe this Stone River Outfitters Monte Carlo.
Alrighty, man. Well, good luck down there in the Bandit Motorsports camp, buddy.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it, bud.
Alright, Scott out of the Bandit group, and we'll get him back down there. Nope, we'll just move me and Scott both. Alright, I'm back. That happened. You did not see that, Rachel. What just happened? Sweet.
That's all right.
So let's move Scott back to where he belongs here. For you guys at home that couldn't see that, I decided to move me and Scott both. Rachel was probably like, "Where'd y'all go?"
Right.
All right, folks. I'm going to take a quick commercial break here before we actually get this thing going tonight. And when we come back, it'll be time to go racing at Charlotte here in the Tuesday Night Throwback Series. All right, back here once again. 2 minutes and 27 seconds left in the qualifying order tonight. You see Rob Haynes still sitting right there to exit the pit road. And one person that's not turned a lap as of yet, Mr. Brandon Thornhill, nor has Mr. Mark. Now, the question for me is, for Brandon and Mark both, they don't have much practice. They didn't turn a qualifying lap. I don't know why the back of the blue thing's up there, but okay. So, Rachel, I got a question for you. What is your synopsis here of what Brandon's getting ready to do with no practice, nothing?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I know he's driven the 87 cars before. He actually likes driving these cars. So, it's going to be interesting to see, how this plays out. He might just kind of take his time and stay towards the back, for a while until he gets comfortable on the track since he hasn't had any practice. But you never know. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see.
All right, let's take a look at your starting lineup here tonight. From Charlotte Motor Speedway, that's Patton, Rob Haynes, row number 1. Row number 2 tonight, Jeff Dean Merck, Randy Arms. Row number 3, Mitchell Reeves and Andrew. Row number 4, John and Ronald Klein. Row number 5, Wally and Mr. Jack Watts. Row number 6 tonight, Judd Dangelson, Ray Richard. Row number 7, Brandon Thornhill and Trent Drum right there as well. And there you go, 8 rows here tonight as we get ready to go racing here. 105 laps at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Should be a fun one here tonight as we get ready to go green flag racing. And I think I've got the audio right here. So what do you think, Rachel? You ready for this one?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how Scott Patton, takes off on this. If he's able to, get a jump on that reef, whenever we start and try to get out in front, past Rob Hayes. But you also got Jeff Merck right behind him too. And I mean, we've seen what Merck can do, so it'll be interesting to see what they do.
All right, here we go. Out of turn number 4, lights off on the iRacing pace car. It's 87 Cup racing time, and we are green. Under green here, row number 1 out in front. Great restart right there, Rachel.
Right. Rob Hayes, got a huge jump on Scott Patton, and I mean he's just taken off.
Kind of not surprised. You see Randy Arms moving to second here. Randy right now up to P2. Scott Patton dropping back for fairly quickly here in the first lap here that we ran, and you see it as they exit turn 3 and 4 right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's still on the inside of Randy, but I mean, he definitely had to really push up there. I mean, he lost some ground, but I mean, he's right in front of Randy at the moment, but Randy's right on his back bumper.
As we continue to fight through here early on here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Taking a look back in the back, that's Ronald Klein back there in the 76. Jeff D. Merck right there in that 09 machine. Yeah, I know he had a Days of Thunder inspired car. It was supposed to be in a Days of Thunder inspired paint scheme. But I'm showing him there in a 60 Pepsi. That's kind of odd. We might have to refresh here, but right now, Merck right behind Andrew in the 09 as well. There's Andrew in that 09 machine having a good run as well.
Right. And I've just been kind of going to the back of the pack just to see what's going on there. But you got Merck that's actually coming up on the side of Andrew to try and take that fourth position.
Yeah, great racing right here right now. And still working on some of the cameras here. Sorry about that, guys. But right here, as you look down the back straightaway, right out the side of Andrew right now, going into turn number 3. And you're fighting through here. Everybody kind of taking it easy here early on in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would be too smart to really burn up their tires or anything like that, this early into the race.
Yeah, that's one thing you got to watch out for. Tire burn, definitely a problem. But Scott Patton, I got to say, Scott's got himself back up in the second, trying to run back down Mr. Haynes.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely closed that gap between him and Haynes. You know, Haynes had a huge gap on the rest of the field, but I mean, Patton is pretty much almost on the back bumper of Haynes now.
Yeah, Corbel, we continue to run right now. And on board again as they ride down the back straightaway. And nose to tail, just a couple of car lengths of difference right now.
Yeah, you kind of have Randy Arms. He's kind of in the middle right now, like he's kind of by himself, and he's but you've got Andrew and Merck. They're pretty much right on each other. Merck is right on the back bumper of Andrew, but Randy's kind of in the middle of between those two battles.
All right, and you got Mr. Looks like in chat, everybody hanging on. But in chat, we got people pulling for Wally right now. A couple more. Got a different group in chat here pulling for a couple of different drivers. So we might have war in chat before this one's over. I tell you what, right now you got Merck up there hanging on. But this group right here around Ronald Klein, nose to tail, that Merck's a part of, along with Andrew, all the cars right in front of him.
Yeah, it looks like the 01 of John, he was trying to get to the inside of Mitchell Reeves, but then he kind of held off for a second.
Yeah, maybe you don't want to get down there too early and risk getting in trouble here. Very easy to do. And we're going to check in with Patton on board again, and you take a look up there.
Oh, and Mark just dropped to the inside of Andrew.
You see it right here. Nice battle, Merck and Andrew. Nice battle, Merck on the bottom, and that Pepsi machine trying to take the spot away here.
Yeah, and Mark was able to clear him, but I mean, it was extremely close. But I mean, Andrew's still on the back bumper of Mark. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's going to try and get that spot back.
Yeah, and I tell you what, though, you take a look up near the front, you got Patton right there. Now, Patton doing a great job and getting in front of Haynes there, but a great battle up front. Then you got Merck working his way forward. Really good racing tonight at Charlotte.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And then you also have Randy Arms right behind Haynes as well.
Of course, Randy trying to get back after that win streak he had. He's trying to get back on a roll with all the winning and dominance there that Randy had for the longest time here. Well, he's got 95 laps to do it left here tonight. So you got to think Rachel is in pretty good shape right now.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree. I mean, if Randy can pretty much stay towards the front, I mean, he definitely has a chance of, ending up in victory lane. So
12 of 100 complete. Back here, we're gonna check in on Thornhill, and well, he's in 11th right now and hanging tough right there in 11th. He definitely got an issue with trading paints though, so we're gonna have to fix that. We'll do that under the first caution or so. Up in front, though, Scott Patton leads. Behind him is Rob Haynes, and I'm wondering how much of a draft is playing effect here tonight. Because we got 3 cars, basically nose to tail at the front of the field.
yeah, I've noticed that. I mean, quite a few of these guys are trying as much as possible to stay on top of each other. But now a lot of them are pretty much spread out, and you can really tell by the times, like the gap between some of these guys and the leaders. I mean, they're really starting to fall off by not by not being huddled up together. So, because I mean, you've got behind Mark, you got Mitchell Reeves, and he's about 1.3 seconds behind.
Yeah, he is. Also behind them, you got John and Andrew battling. Good side-by-side battle there, and it looks like Andrew going to jump underneath, go to 6th here. Great job by Andrew picking up P6.
But you got John just dropped to the inside of Andrew again, trying to take that spot back.
Well, if he can get there, that is the question. Doesn't look like it. He'll drop back in the line. Here comes Ronald Klein as well. Klein working his way forward, 16:01:05 on the board. Danielson back there in 9th, Wally 10th, and Brandon Thornhill 11th. That's the field ride now. But Scott Patton up front leads the way with Randy Arms still putting pressure here for this race lead.
Yeah, I mean, Randy was able to get up there, to P2, and now he's pretty much on the back bumper of Scott. And I mean, it's only a matter of time. Just as we say that, Randy drops to the inside of Patton to take that first position.
Yeah, does a great job of getting right back by him as we run right now down the back straightaway into 3 and 4.
And unfortunately, Scott Patton is just left out by himself on that high side, and Mark and Haynes pretty much just blew by him.
Well, we talked about the draft, and if it was a factor here tonight, and that right there, it tells me it is, Rachel, that he dropped like a stone.
Yeah, no, he definitely was out there by himself, and I mean, Mark and Haynes were pretty much bumper to bumper and just, dodged their way up there to the front.
Yeah, they did, and they're making it work. We're 18 of the 105 complete here tonight. Randy Arms out front, Haynes and Mert all in the top 3 right here at Charlotte.
Yeah, unfortunately, Scott Patton has fallen back to 4th because of that. And then you also have Mitchell Reeves that's in the 5th position right behind him.
Alrighty, folks, back here once again. We're going to let these paints update. I do apologize about doing this on air, but we're kind of having to track cars that we don't have the proper paint scheme to, so that's making it a little difficult. But as they run right here, as trading paint updates, Rachel, are you surprised the first 22 laps how smooth it's been?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are definitely keeping it clean, and I mean, that's what you want. I mean, you know, the last thing you want is for a caution to happen. But also they're not extremely spread out. You know, they're pretty much staying close together, so they're battling, and it's making for an exciting race.
Yeah, it really is. We're coming up to 25 of the 105 complete here. And the question is going to become, what lap do these guys head down pit road to take fuel and tires? That's going to be the major question. Scott Patton has dropped like a rock after leading some of these laps. And Scott way back here in 5th. Mitchell Reeves there in 2nd in the O2 machine. Patton there in 5th. Ronald Klein back there in 7th. Well, right now 24 on the board, and I tell you, Ronald in that City Days of Thunder inspired paint scheme. Tell you what, he's doing a good job, giving it a good. Ooh, as I say that, he about got into the side of Andrew there. That could have been bad.
Right, but he was able to save it, and now he just dropped to the back of Andrew.
Well, right now as we continue to run here, 25 on the board this time by 25.
And Ronald just dropped to the inside of Andrew again. And he got a good run on him, and now he's moved into the 6th position.
Ronald did a great job there, moving up through the pack. Patton right there in 5th. And you got to look at Ronald Klein. You got to think he wants a good finish here in the 87 cars really badly. He hasn't had the year he wanted so far. But right now, into the top 6 right now. Probably one of the better runs I've seen Ronald Klein have in these cars.
No, I agree. And when he was in practice, he was like 3rd in practice when it came to time. So he definitely has, he has the potential to move up through the field and, possibly get a really good run tonight.
Yeah, he does. Meanwhile, battle for the top, for the lead heating up again. You got the 88 or the 99 of Haynes and Merton right there now to the back bumper of Randy Arms, putting some pressure on him. Again, a long way to go, but you're seeing 3 cars kind of break away from the pack.
Yeah, because you got behind Mark, you've got Mitchell Reeves, and he's pretty much by himself right now, and he's over 2 seconds off the leader, so he's pretty much the one that's in between, the packs of cars. So, but you've got Ronald dropping to the inside of Scott Patton to try and take that 5th position away.
And look at Ronald, man, into the top 5. Great run for Ronald here tonight in front of Scott Patton. I've got to say, I'm very happy for Ronald. I know the year he's had, and he's had some bad luck follow him here in this series in particular. So what a night to turn it around here at Charlotte. Randy Arms out front as normal. But the story tonight, Ronald Klein working his way into the top 5. Maybe has got that bad luck jinx kind of over. Knock on wood, as we got a battle for 2nd right there between Merton making it to 2nd. As we continue to work down the back straightaway, more cars spread apart back there in the back of the pack as well. Continuing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And I hope that paint update helped you guys out a little bit with the new paints. Don't know why it didn't load it defaultly like I had it set, but it didn't, so we'll keep it going. John back here in the 01, he's going to have the 09 back there to the back bumper. Andrew in 8th, Judd Danielson in 9th right now. That's the top 9 here on the racetrack. 30 of 105 complete.
I'm trying to look back to the back of the pack, but from the most part, most of these guys are pretty much just staying single file, not really trying to battle it out right now.
Yeah, they're not really putting too much pressure on one another. The 31 laps in here, I'd say their tires are pretty well.
You got the number 85 of Judd right on the back bumper of Andrew.
Yeah, I tell you what though, I have to believe, Rachel, these guys are just kind of, oh, we got trouble.
The yellow flag is out.
Oh, Judd got in the back of Andrew.
Caution's out.
Yep, well, that happened. So yellow's out here. So what are you thinking, Rachel? Yellow first caution? We know they're getting tires here.
Honestly, I would say, if I was them, I would get tires.
Yeah, without a doubt, you're coming down, you're taking tires and fuel. 32 laps in, yellow is out. Well, if we get ready to restart here, 32 of 105 complete. Field will be coming to pit road. First caution of the night, Randy Arms will lead them down as you see him pulling onto pit road right here. Everybody coming down pit road. See the field heading towards you. And I think, Rachel, here's another part to this. Having a good pit stop, getting out of here and back on the racetrack with the race lead. That is going to be huge because I do believe track position is mattering quite a bit here at Charlotte tonight with all the drafting and such that we've got going on.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see, you know, how fast these guys get off of pit road and who ends up coming off of pit road first.
And there you have your answer. Haynes off first. Second is going to be the 01 of John. Who's going to be third off? It's going to be Arms and then then Mert, then Patton possibly at the end of pit road. So Haynes off early here along with John. I think they may have went 2 tires only here. So very
They might take that
here.
risk. I don't know, but I mean, to be honest, I would have done 4.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I would have went with 4. I agree with you there. I don't think 2 is the right call here tonight, but we will see how it pans out for them. So we're 33 complete into the 105 tonight for the over-the-top designs Tuesday night throwback series. Of course, guys, if you're looking for a car to be painted, logos, anything of the sort, even custom diecast, contact John Hendrick on Facebook and with Over the Top Designs, and he'll get you pointed in the right direction.
It looks like the 01 of John is coming back down pit road.
Interesting. So John on pit road again. He'll give up position here to come back down for fuel and tires. Interesting. Well, what do you think? He might have meant to put 4 tires on it and only took 2? I'm kind of confused there to why he would come immediately right back down.
Right. I'm not sure either. I mean, that could be it, or I don't know if he had any damage on his car. I don't think he was involved in that caution, so that would have been the only other thing I would have thought of was maybe damage, but I don't think he was involved in that caution earlier.
Yeah. But right now, coming back to green, it's going to be Haynes and Arms up front of the field. 35 of 105 on the board here tonight. Pace car lights are off here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Pace car will come down pit road. He'll make that left-hand turn. Here we go. Out of turn 4, the field coming back to green. And Rachel, we're going to go green. Lap 35 on the board. Haynes and Arms up front.
Green, green, green.
Yeah, it looks like Haynes got a somewhat of a good start, but I mean, Randy is just, he's keeping up with him and is trying to get that first place position back, and he just clears him.
Yeah, good job by him. And right now, down the back straightaway they come.
Oh, you got Mark on the inside, Scott Patton, and now he's dropped to the inside of Haynes to take that second position away.
Great battle here between the 60 and 90 or 199 machine. That's going to be Merck and Haynes. Exactly what you said. He got to the bottom and he's going to make it work. Ooh!
And Haynes gets into the outside wall, but he's able to save it. But I mean, he has dropped back quite a few positions. I mean, he is pretty much left out on the outside.
Yeah, contact just kind of knocked him up the racetrack into the fence. Nothing he could really do there. And he's going to have quite a bit of damage on that right side because of it as well. And down the front straightaway, 37 on the board. of 105 tonight.
Right, and unfortunately, it's dropped him all the way back to 11th.
Well, as we continue to run here, Judd Danielson is 6th, Ronald Klein inside the top 5. Cars working their way through the through 3 and 4 once again. And you see everybody kind of starting to spread out again as nighttime falls here at Charlotte. And up front, Randy Arms leads the way. So Randy Arms continuing to lead, a little bit battling deep in the pack. As Mr. I believe that's Haynes is kind of dropping like a rock.
I mean, you've got Mitchell Reeves to the inside of Scott Patton right now. Trying to battle him for second.
A great battle up front, and Reeves does make the pass. Good call on that one, Rachel, as they work their way into turn 1. And look at Reeves go to the bottom here of Arms as well.
Right, and he has Scott Patton behind him too, so that can help him as well. I mean, we saw how the draft has been helping them, and obviously it helps them to clear Randy.
Down the back straight away, and right now Reeves leads. Patton to second. Look at Merck right there in the Exxon machine, goes to third as they work their way down off of turn 4. 40 in the books here tonight, 66 to go at Charlotte.
Right, and unfortunately, Randy got left out on the high side, and it ended up knocking him back to 4th.
Yeah, that's the thing. You get left up there on the top. There's not much you can do about it as you kind of free fall through a little bit, looking for help to get that car back up there. And again, I think the draft playing more of a role here tonight at Charlotte than I've seen it play in a while.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. I mean, we've definitely seen these guys, take advantage of drafting off each other to be able to definitely move up throughout the field.
Yeah, they really have, and they continue to do it right here. As you see Merck to the bottom of Patton here, that's for second. Merck trying to get to the inside of Patton. Patton trying to hold him back there. Single file up front, 42 on the board. Great racing overall so far tonight. 42 and 105 complete here as they enter turn number 1 with a new race leader, Mitchell Reeves, Scott Patton in second. This race has been one of those racial back and forth battles. You see Patton up the racetrack. Mr. Merck to the bottom in the Exxon 60 machine. Great run for Merck, Mr. Rowdy Merck right there. We're not going to call him Rowdy Burns, but Rowdy Merck works here in that Days and Thunder inspired machine. So we got Mitchell Trickle, and Rowdy Merck, and who else we got out there in Days of Thunder cars? Actually, no, Mitchell is not in Trickle car. Forget who drove the mellow yellow car in Days of Thunder.
I remember the movie, but I don't remember too much from it.
All right, so we got Ronald Trickle out there, and then Mitchell Reeves in the Mountain Blue car, and then we got Mr. Rowdy Merck out there as well. So, we're having a great little Days of Thunder race out there.
And I definitely agree. And you also have Randy. Randy is pretty much right on the bumper of Merck. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if he does try to drop to inside of him to, take that second place position away.
Yeah, we'll see if we work our way through 45 here. The 60 laps to go. Out front, Mitchell Reeves leads the way. Rowdy Merck behind him. Behind him, he's going to have Randy Arms. And then Scott Patton and Mr. Ronald back there as well in the 76. So that's the way they run right now. 45 on the board. Rachel, what do you think? Let's do some crank it up here. What do you think?
Yeah, why not?
All right, folks. We'll be back here with you in a moment. Crank it up here on Extreme Sun TV. Alrighty, folks, back here once again. Well, Rachel, battle up front as we come back. It's going to be Merck on the bottom. Rowdy Merck to the inside. He's going to be going for the race lead underneath Mitchell Reeves, but he's going to fall back on line. Not going to be able to make it work as they exit turn 4 that time. Lap 49 on the board.
Yeah, it looked like Merck got a little sideways when he was trying to go for that pass, and I guess that's probably why he held back.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Getting on the inside like that, you lose the car, get it sideways. It can be a lot harder on you than you think as we continue to run here tonight. Everybody hanging on. Ronald Klein right here taking a walk on board with Klein. Working that car right now. After getting into the wall. Hasn't really recovered. Really at the tail end of the field at this point is Rob Haynes. So Rob in big trouble here in that Castrol machine at the moment. You always expect him to have a good run, but right now, after 51 laps, he's way back there in the back at the moment.
Right, and you also have the 77 of Jack Watts. Pretty much was on the back bumper of Brandon Thornhill.
You know, I'm kind of surprised. Brandon is doing actually decently well here with no practice. I got to give it to him getting past right there. But I tell you what, he's hanging in there with no practice right now inside 12.
Right, yeah, he dropped back to 12 when Watts passed him. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely holding his own. But you know, I mean, you never know. He's also one of those people that tend to conserve a lot. And then don't really start making a lot of moves till, you know, closer towards the end of the race. So that might be what he's trying to do here. So we'll have to definitely keep an eye on him, you know, throughout the night and see what he does.
We will, but up at the front of the pack, we've got a dogfight right now as Mr. Rowdy Merck there taking back over the race lead. He's going to have Randy Arms behind him. Mitchell Reeves dropped to third. Here comes Scott Patton into 46 for fourth. And it looks like here tonight we're having a 4 or 5 car breakaway consistently each time at the front of the field.
Right, and Scott Patton, you know, is on the inside, but I mean, Mitchell Reeves went extremely high, and unfortunately, I think that's what kind of made him lose that momentum, and made it easier for Scott Patton to clear him.
Yeah, it did. It kind of made it pretty smooth on Patton to get around him. Well, folks, 51 laps to go tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway here on Extreme Sympathies coverage of the Tuesday night Throwback series. Up front, Jeff D. Merker, otherwise known as Rowdy Merck, leads in that 60 machine.
You got the number 85 of Judd trying to drop to the inside of Ronald Klein right now. But he just wasn't able to get that momentum to be able to do it. But Ronald was kind of by himself for a while, but it looks like Judd and Wally have both kind of caught back up to him.
Yeah, they're kind of all like a slinky back here, back and forth. But Ronald Klein, man, inside the top 5. I know I said it earlier, best run of the season so far. I feel like in the 87 car Ronald's having tonight. He's 56 laps in. He's got 50 to go. And right now he's running 5th in that number 76 machine. So Merck leads. Arms 2nd. Patton 3rd. Reeves 4th. Klein 5th. Wally 6th. Judd Danielson back there in 7th.
You got a battle back here with Ray Richer and Andrew. Ray dropped to the inside of Andrew, trying to pick up that 9th position.
Ray Richer and Andrew Schultz right there Schulta trying to hold Ray Richer off, but Ray doing a good job running the bottom. I don't think Andrew will hold him back there for long.
Yeah, no, I mean, from what it looks like, Ray is running, extremely close to him. I think he'll eventually get around him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right there, Ray got kind of sideways, and he had to save it. So, unfortunately, that's really slowed him down.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like we talked about earlier, down there on the bottom, you don't have the downforce to hold the car straight a lot of times. And here comes the 77 of Jack Watts right there to the back bumper of Ray as well.
Yeah, it looks like these guys have kind of held off a little bit. Not really trying to pass each other right now.
Exactly. Now, right now, 61 and 105 on the board. Jeff D. Merck up in front of the field behind him. He's going to have Randy Arms there as well. And what a fight we're having up front between Randy Arms and Jeffrey Merck.
Yeah, I mean, Randy is definitely staying on the back bumper of Merck. I mean, and it's been like this consistently, so I mean, we'll see if Randy just stays consistent, just stays behind Merck, or if he's gonna try and pass him for, to get back to the front.
Patton right there as well in the 46. Reeves behind him. Top three kind of setting their ways here. 61 and 105 complete. And we got to be looking at pit stops here before much longer, folks. Estimated to run probably 35 to 40 laps here tonight, and they're about 29 laps in to this stint this evening.
You got Jack Watts that just dropped to the inside of Ray Richer and just cleared him for that ninth position.
Great job by Watts there. Up front, we're continuing single file. John all by himself in 8. Danielson right there inside the top 6 at the moment, trying to look at a run on Mr. Ronald Klein. Ronald able to hold him off. 64 going to be on the board this time by, looking for fuel stops here pretty soon. But man, just so impressive as you watch Danielson able to cut through the corner. Some of these guys really able to cut the center of the corner, and that's where they make up most of the ground.
Right, and something must have happened to Andrew Schulta because he has fallen back to 12. And I know he was further up. He was up there with John he was in like the 9th position, and I mean he's already fallen back to 12th, so I'm not sure if something happened.
Yeah, I believe he may have gotten a wall there a little bit and hurt that car a bit. We'll see how it works going forward. Meanwhile, in front of him, Brandon Thornhill. Brando makes a move to the bottom, and he'll pass Mr. Ray Richer there.
Right, which moves him up to 10th position.
I'll tell you what, man, if Brandon finishes in the top 10, we're going to have to go get him an Oreo cookie or something for the effort he put in tonight. But no practice coming out with these guys, even a top 10 finish, that'd be pretty amazing in my book.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely agree with you. I mean, like you said, no practice, and coming in and finishing the top 10, I mean, you can't beat that, so.
But what you can beat up here is a two-line battle. You got Mr. Scott Patton and Randy Arms going at it again here. That's for second. 66 on the board.
Yeah, it looks like Patton ended up pretty much getting back behind Randy. He might not have had enough momentum to really clear him.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to kind of drop back on line. 67 and 105 complete. Jeff Merck, Randy Arms, Scott Patton, your top 3 right now.
It looks like Judd and Wally passed Ronald, and so Ronald is now in the 7th position.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Ronald dropping back slowly here. He's just going to have to wait on the next round of stops and kind of regroup if he can. Ronald kind of dropping back there in that city machine. That green and yellow machine right there.
And it looks like Andrew Schulte dropped further back too. Now he's at the back of the field in 14th. So yeah, he must have had some type of damage on his car or something, because I mean he's just constantly dropping.
Yeah. He's dropped back to 7th right now. Ronald Klein is, and a couple more dropping on the pack. So 69 on the board. Merck leads, and again, top 4. They've checked out here tonight with 70 on the board this time by.
Yeah, I mean they definitely have, because I mean in 5th is Judd, and he is 5.3 seconds behind them. So yeah, I mean they've definitely separated themselves from the rest of the field.
70 on the board of 105. Merck, Randy Arms, Scott Patton, your top 3. Mitchell Reeves setting 4th.
And you've got Judd right on the back of Wally. And Ronald's right on the back bumper of Judd. So I mean, we'll see how this plays out.
Well, what I'm seeing is interesting. It's almost like there's an air buffer between the cars. We're seeing a lot of cars run close together, but it seems like they're having trouble making a move, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too. It's like they can get kind of close to the bumper, but then all of a sudden it's almost like there's an air pocket or something that's keeping them from being able to really do anything. So they're just kind of shifting behind each other.
Well, I know for a fact they worked on aero push and aero loose in the truck, cup, and Xfinity cars. But what I don't know is, did they work on it for the 87 cars as well? That's what is interesting to me. And again, aero loose or aero push, that's where if you get behind another car, for instance, your car will start to push up the racetrack, or aero loose, you've got a car behind you, they can make you loose by taking the air off your spoiler. And it's interesting to me to see if maybe they adjusted that. Because it's almost exactly what it looks like. There's a bubble, a pocket of air there, and these guys are having a heck of a time busting it.
Yeah, and just as you mentioned that, Judd had passed Wally to move to the 5th position, but now Wally is down pit road. So I'm not sure if he's just coming to the pits early, or if there might have been an issue.
Well, they're 40 laps into their stint, so realistically it could be a scheduled stop as we got a battle for the lead. Scott Patton to the bottom of Mert right here, and Patton up the racetrack, nearly getting into the side of Mert. And again, it's like they can't make the bottom work on the inside of somebody. But yeah, to your question, this could definitely be scheduled green flag stops here. As actually we got Ray Richer on pit road as well, so green flag stops have begun for the guys in the back. But Jeffrey Mert trying to hold to the lead to the Scott Patton. Patton to the bottom, they almost banged doors there in the 1 and 2. Mert gonna run the middle lane. Patton to the inside. Patton really using up Mert there. Man, Rowdy Mert ain't gonna like that, I don't think. But he will lose the race lead, as Patton really used him up there, Rachel.
Right, and unfortunately it moved him up to the top, and we've seen this so far tonight, that being up there towards the top, I mean, you lose so much momentum. It's so easy to fall back, multiple positions. I mean, it happened to Haynes earlier in the race, where, I mean, he fell 4 positions just by going up to the top just for that short period of time.
Meanwhile, on pit road, you got Randy Arms and Mitchell Reeves. They're going to come in a lap earlier Dang your top two. We'll see if Scott Patton and Mert come down this time. And out of turn 4, Patton does indeed come. Will Mert come with him? Both cars on pit road. Man, really hot onto pit road for both of them. Hopefully they got those cars slowed down in time. But both cars on pit road. And now we got Judd Danielson taking the lead. And he'll be the last car to kind of cycle through this final round of stops if we stay green here. So, Merck and Patton on pit road. You see Reeves, right? Mitchell Reeves coming back up to speed. Patton and Merck on pit road right now. Now, when all this cycles through, we'll see who takes over the race lead. And Patton off pit road pretty quick. 11 seconds. 2 tires, looks like. And Merck going to go ahead and stay for all 4. This is going to be interesting.
Patton. Yeah, Judd just came down pit road just now.
Alright, so Danielson on pit road. Well, what do you think? You think 2 tires on the car of Mr. Scott Patton was the call here? Because he's got a heck of a lead right now.
To be honest, if I was him, I wouldn't take 2 tires. I mean, because these guys have 3 sets, I believe, is what they go through. So I mean, I would have done 4. I mean, because of the amount of time you still have before the end of the race. I mean, you could make up that track position, because I mean, we're only at lap 78.
We're basically going to have 27 laps to go. And Scott Patton has the lead by 9 seconds with that tire strategy. I don't know. I might be on the Patton train on this one. That's 27 laps, 9 seconds to make up. That's a lot. Here comes Randy Arms across the stripe there. And I guess we'll just have to wait for the lap times to tell us the tale of how all this works out.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely have to see. I mean, some of these guys, yeah, I mean, it is 9 seconds, but also you have to keep in mind we still have about, like you said, about 25 laps almost to go, and you never know, a caution can come out, and that can also affect, how much time off the leader, because then they bunch back up. So,
well, what's interesting here, last time by, Scott Patton ran a 31.798. Randy Arms ran a 31.883. So it's not like he's that much slower, which is really interesting, but I could have swore he took 2 tires. Again, 31.9 to a 31.9. So they're dead even lap time right now, Rachel. And again, with 25 laps to go, I don't know, that's a long way for them to make up, assuming we don't have a caution.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely have to see. Some of these guys might have been, hoping that there might be a caution that comes out.
Well, and I'm looking back through the pit stops here, and for instance, his stop was 11.2 seconds. Everybody else was 21 seconds or more.
Yeah, then he probably did only take 2 tires.
Yeah, and he did, but it doesn't seem to be affecting that car that badly. Very interesting here. You would have thought he'd have been a lot slower than this on 2 tires.
Right, and that's normally what it is. Normally, somebody that just takes 2 tires ends up being slower. But I don't know. And then also it could be that maybe he kind of conserved his other tires to where it's not, he doesn't have very much wear on the other ones. That could also be something that that might be helping him.
Yeah, on that last time he ran a 32.2, Randy Arms of 32.3, and Mitchell Reeves 32.3. I'm really wondering if there's something to this dirty air thing and the aero push in these cars. Of course, we won't know for sure until we talk to some of the drivers after the race. But it's almost like right here with the O2 at Reeds, it's almost like that car wants to push up when he's behind Randy Arms.
Yeah, I did notice that whenever they were coming through. It just seems like, Mitchell's trying to find a way to run behind Randy, but it's like he keeps kind of moving his line. I guess it's because it's just not working for him.
And I think the two-tire parade might be coming to an end for Scott Patton. Because last time by, he was a 10th off those guys. Would check it right here. Maybe it was one of the cases where the two tires held up for a little bit. Now that we're 9 laps in, to see if 4 starts to make a difference. Well, no, not too much. It's a little bit, but not enough. Now Patton in behind him looks like the 44, and the 44 will go up the racetrack. Give Patton that inside line, but those clean airs, so Scott Patton on through on the bottom.
Yeah, from what it looks like, this pit stop really just spread everybody out for the most part. No one is even really close to each other. The closest is Randy Arms and Mitchell Reeves. When it comes to, possible battles, everybody else is extremely spread out.
Yeah, and it's honestly, guys, I hate to say it, but it's actually kind of perplexing me a little bit. Because out of all the cars on the service, the 87 cars were the least aero dependent. So I'm really perplexed as to what the deal is tonight, actually. I'm really confused.
I don't know, you think maybe it had something to do with the update that iRacing did?
It would have to be something in the update. It would have to be. I would have to go look at the patch notes and see if I can find anything, but man, these cars look like they're very, very aero dependent tonight.
Right. Now you've got the number 9 of Andrew Schulte, and you've got Rob Haynes. Schulte's getting kind of close to him, but he's kind of going through the same thing that Mitchell Reeves was going through, where it's like he kind of gets close, but then it's like this, this air pocket thing, and he just got extremely loose behind Haynes, trying to get on the back bumper of him.
Yeah, I'm really, like I said, I'm really, really, really perplexed. 15 to go. Got Patton up by 8.9 seconds here. And I gotta say, this is the first time since I broadcasted over the last 2 years that I've honestly been this perplexed, Rachel, because usually I have an answer. I don't have one tonight. All I know is I'm going to be doing some research on patch notes here at this race.
Right, I can understand that. This is something you've never seen before, and it's like, why is this happening?
Well, and I've seen this exactly in the IndyCar, right? Because it was the same way there. But not in the 87 Cup car. I'm not seeing it to this extent. And right there, you've seen it, folks. We're going to go to a replay right quick. Hang on. So take a look at the 85. As the 76 comes down the racetrack across the nose of the 85, at home you might not be able to see it, but that car kind of darted to the right a little bit. Just by a millimeter. But that's all it takes, right? That millimeter of movement. And that's what we're talking about, is somebody moving in front of you and affecting your car.
Right, and just as you mentioned that, the 85 actually just got the pass on Ronald to move up to that 5th position.
Yeah, and that's the thing. With 12 laps to go. Man, oh man, what the story of the nights are going to be when all this is over. And 8.6 seconds, that's the gap up front. Mitchell Reeves in third, Jeff D. Merck in fourth.
Right, and Mitchell has been pretty much staying on Randy, but he just hadn't really been able to get much of a run. But now he's on the inside of Randy. And we'll see if he'll be able to clear him, because I know he had some trouble before. Yeah, he's actually able to clear him to move himself up to second. But there's still, I mean, even though he's moved up to second, he's still about 8.8 seconds behind Scott Patton.
Yeah, and that's another thing that's perplexing me. Assuming Patton really is on 2 tires, which I would imagine he has to be, he is really making 2 tires work tonight.
Right, yeah, he definitely is. And to say that his times are pretty much around this exact same as like Mitchell and Randy that are running on 4 tires. That's really interesting too, because normally, you know, if you have 2 tires, your times tend to be a lot slower, and with his times are pretty much the same.
So what we're basically saying, folks, is your broadcasters tonight are completely confused at this point. Everything that should be happening is not happening.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, that's why it just seems like this might have something to do with the iRacing update, because other than that, it really just does not make sense.
Logic, we have none tonight. Nope, no logic from us tonight with time to go.
Unfortunately. unless something happened that we don't know about.
Like I said, we'll have to look into it, but that gap, like you said, is not closing between Reeves and Pat.
No, not at all. I mean, it has stayed the same. It's still 8.8 seconds. And then, you know, with Randy's like 8.9 seconds behind Patton. So they're pretty much really close, Mitchell and Randy, when it comes to, you know, how far back they are from Scott Patton. But yeah, those gaps are not really closing at all.
Well, as we watched the battle right there for a second, again, kind of seeing that same thing, where Randy Arms is there, but can't do nothing to get around to go to. Maybe it's the setup. I don't know. Maybe it's the new fix setup for Charlotte. I have a hard time believing that, actually. But, yeah, I'm not sure what's causing the racing we're seeing tonight. It's good racing in one sense, but in the other sense, they're having trouble passing as well. So.
Right, and from what it looks like, you know, most of these guys are pretty much just spread out. They're all pretty much running the bottom of the track for the most part.
And right now, back here in Never Never Land, got Patton out here all by himself. I believe he went and bought his own island here with the real estate he's got. Coming to 5 laps to go. He's got an 8-second lead. Those tires starting to affect him, finally. Here with 6 laps to go, 32.7 for Mitchell Reeves and Randy Arms. So now the 2 tires starting to be a problem. But it's literally 5 laps to go. These tires have held up, what, 20, 15 laps on 2?
Right, yeah. It's definitely, these guys don't have enough time to really make up that gap, because I mean, Mitchell has dropped it down to about 7.9 seconds, but that's still not enough time with only 4 laps to go.
Well, folks at home, I wish I had a webcam hooked up right about now, because you would see my face looking like because I have no idea why things are doing what they're doing right now.
Right, and I mean, you've got Randy still on the back bumper of Mitchell, but same thing kind of happened. Like, Randy got pretty much almost right on the back bumper, but then ended up kind of turning a little bit to the right, and wasn't really able to do anything. So it's kind of the same thing that's happening with them once again. With the air, it's just not working for them.
Now, again, we don't know that they changed anything, but we're just basing it, folks, off what we're seeing, and I swear it looks like they did. But I kind of hope they didn't, Rachel, because I thought it was a pretty good package on these cars we had previously.
Yeah, no, I hope they didn't actually change something, because before this race, these cars, they were able to get extremely close and be able to really battle it out and not really have this issue. But we'll have to see. But hopefully they didn't change a lot to these cars, because that can definitely hurt some people's chances of being able to move their way throughout the field. So
Alrighty, coming to the white flag already, believe it or not, Rachel, we're coming to the white flag this time.
Yeah, and Scott Patton is in his own zip code. So the only ones that might try to battle it out would be Mitchell Reeves and Randy Arms. As of right now, it doesn't look like they're really trying to battle it out. You got Mitchell up there and Randy's right behind him.
But at the start-finish line, give it to Scott Patton. He's going to win tonight's race. Mitchell Reeves out of turn number 4. Randy Arms trying it.
The wall.
So did Randy, and at the stripe, Reeves holds on. They're going to wreck it at the end. Man, both of them getting into the wall. And I swear, if we look at this, look at the 83 getting so loose up behind Reeves. Wow. Man, there's... Okay, as we end this race, Patton and Reeves Patton wins, Reeves wrecks, Arms wrecks. That's your top 3 at the end of this. What a night, Rachel.
Yeah, no, definitely. Congrats to Scott Patton. He pretty much just took off and left everybody. And those 2 tires obviously worked in his favor.
Well, let's grab Scott Patton up here and see what he has to say about all this, because I got plenty of questions. And there he is. Hey, Scott Patton, it's Matt up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Matt. What's going on?
Dude, I've got about 500,000 questions for you. From watching this race, Scott, it seems like these cars acted somewhat different tonight.
Yeah, it kind of played a little bit more in our favor, I think. They behaved a little bit closer, kind of like halfway between a normal cup car and what these cars typically are. So I think it kind of played right into our hands. Did feel better, more stable for us anyway, and my driving style fit a little bit better. So yeah, we enjoyed it.
Well, from our point of view, I know that the truck and the Xfinity car and Cup got an update related to more along the lines of aero push and aero type things. And from what we were seeing in the pack, looks like there's a hint of possibly of an aero push or even an air bubble of some sort.
Yeah, it did seem like we were pulling up. We were drafting behind guys for a little bit when all 4 of us were up front in the first half there, and seemed like you could kind of float right up to them, and then couldn't really do a whole lot from that, that 2 to 3 foot mark. Couldn't do a whole lot to get right to their bumper, really, unless you got a huge run. But yeah, maybe could be with the update. Not really sure.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go pour through some update notes, because I knew it came to the Xfinity and Cup car. I didn't know it come to the 87. But man, they did. It kind of reminded me, Scott, of kind of like an IndyCar race almost.
Yeah, I've seen those too, where they get super pushy in the corner, and then you can't really get to guys. And yeah, it was kind of similar to that. But whatever they did, I'll take it. If it keeps handling like this every week, maybe we'll keep the Stone River out front and give Mitchell a run for his money here.
Alrighty, man. Well, you did a great job in that Stone River machine tonight, getting the win here tonight. Congratulations, buddy. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, certainly Lugnuts Racing League, awesome place to race. Like I see every week. keeps kind of getting better and better every week. This was an awesome race tonight. Nice, clean, respectful racing and strategy race. And certainly you guys up in the booth there, Extreme Sim TV. I don't know if Rachel's there. Hey, Rachel. And
hey, Scott. Yeah, I'm in here.
yeah, welcome. I think it's welcome you to the channel. Do an awesome job up there. And John, everybody that puts on the league, and certainly Stone River Outfitters for all your fly tying needs. Check them out, StoneRiverOutfitters.com.
10-4, buddy. Good promotion. Good job, man.
I'm practicing. Thanks, man.
All right, see you later, bud.
See you, buddy.
All right, Rachel, you want to take second?
Sure, why not?
Why not? I'll throw you to the wolves. Let's see if we can find them wherever they may be. Reeves. There he is.
Where is he at?
I got him.
Okay.
Here you go.
Mitchell, it's Rachel and Matt up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, we got you.
All right. So congrats on the second place finish. How's it feel?
I feel like I got my teeth kicked in, to be honest. I don't know what Scott did on that pit stop, but hey, hats off to him. He had something figured out. You know, we figured we had a top 4 car for sure with Mert and Randy and Scott, and had a good battle with Randy there at the end. But second place, 7 seconds back, was not how I expected the race to go.
Right. We weren't expecting the cars to get that, that spread out. We think, based on pit times, Scott might have only taken 2 tires.
Yeah, and that's what we were kind of thinking too. And I mean, me and Randy were pushing it as hard as we could, and really, honestly, Scott kept great pace. I mean, we probably made up, I think in that whole run we might have made up 2.5 seconds, but nevertheless, second place finish, keep the points lead, and move on to the next one.
Right. You guys still ended up having a great night. So, any sponsors or shout outs you want to make?
Yeah, I gave you a shout out to my fiance Caitlin for everything she does, lets me do, virtual racing and real racing. Gave you a shout out to my team of Jeffrey Mert, Ronald Klein, new and improved Brandon Thornhill, and our satellite guy Randy Arms. It's going to be a battle to the end in this championship. I think we've had 3 different winners in the last 3 races, and I expect it to continue. And I gave you a shout out. John had it over the top paints and designs. He painted up this bad to the bone mellow yellow 2 machine today. All of our team is doing a kind of a Days of Thunder theme, so it's pretty cool to do that. But gonna load it up and go on to the next one.
All right. Well, congrats. Go celebrate your second place finish, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Alrighty, a great job there, Mr. Reeves. Well, we're gonna go grab Mr. Arms up here, and let's get Mr. Randy Arms up here in the booth. Hey, Randy, Matt in the booth, got a copy?
Yeah, buddy, I got you.
Alrighty, you brought that 83 Castrol machine home third here tonight.
Yeah, we had a good run. Just didn't have enough there at the end. Well, I guess we all kind of didn't have enough there for Scott. He played some little trickery on that last pit stop and kind of caught everybody off guard, and it paid off. So congrats to him. But yeah, all in all, thought we had a good race. We was in the battle for the lead about all night. So can't complain about that.
Well, man, you did a great job, buddy. Congratulations coming home third here tonight. Still building the momentum here in the season, dude. Anybody you'd like to thank going forward?
Yeah, just like always, just want to thank Castro, Kirk West, Poshy's Performance Parts, and just thank the league for putting on these races. They are, just the most fun I've had on iRacing, I believe. It's just a combination of the cars and the drivers over here. It's just, it's just a blast each week. And thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. You guys do a great job each week, and always can't wait to go back and watch it after the races every night.
Alrighty, Randy. Well, congratulations here tonight, third, and great run, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, Rachel, we're going to get ready to get out of here. Well, closing thoughts on tonight?
This was a great race. And obviously Scott Patton pulled it off. And I mean, he pulled, a risky strategy that sometimes tends to not really work out. But for him, I mean, it worked out in his favor. And obviously, he left these guys. He was in another zip code. So yeah, definitely congrats to him. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next race.
10-4 will be as well. Folks, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for joining us here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Over the Top Designs Loose Lugnuts Night Throwback Series. We'll see you back here next Tuesday. Until then, it's been Matt and Rachel in the booth with you this evening. Everyone have a great night. God